Hey Wes, Jessica Peterson here. I spoke with Miranda just a few moments ago and she accepted this video on your behalf. She thought you might definitely want to check this out. And I'm super glad that she did because today I'm going to go through 3 tips you can start applying right away and it's going to make a huge difference to your business. Right now you have very minimal traffic coming to your website or finding your website online organically. Okay, so that means you're missing out on nearly 70% of the jobs every single month by not having these strategies in place. And so I know this is going to work for you because we've used these same strategies with over 50 other restoration companies just like you guys throughout the US, and it's making a huge difference. Okay, so today we're going to walk through 3 main things. We're going to talk about your content, your citations, and your backlinks. Okay, so when it comes to ranking on Google, Google doesn't rank websites based on appearance. It is based on content. Content is key, and you do need a lot of content. And then once we get them here, we want them to convert. Okay, so I love that you have these call to actions right here, the click to call and the form on top. We've found that having the form right here above the fold does help with the conversions by 80%. So really good job on your placements. Okay, that's awesome. Now, so content is key, as I mentioned. And so you do need a lot of content, and it needs to be built around those local keywords for your services. You do need separate pages for all of your major services, which it looks like you have. And we highly, highly recommend having separate service area pages for each of the major areas you serve. So outside of San Antonio, you're going to want separate service area pages for Dallas and the other areas that you're serving. That's a huge service area, okay? That allows you to be found in the areas that you serve for those services. Now, 90% of customers, when they're searching, they need help. They don't know who you are yet, so they're not going to be searching your brand. They are going to be using local keywords like San Antonio, right? Water damage restoration, San Antonio water damage. So you want to capitalize on the various ways people search to capitalize as much of that as possible. Your home page needs at least 1,500 words or more of content. And it needs to be built around the local services that you offer and the keywords for those services. So again, if you're basing it out of San Antonio, this homepage needs to be based on San Antonio, and all of these service pages need to be based on San Antonio. And then for Dallas, you would have a Dallas page similar to your homepage with a summary of all your major services with those Dallas keywords. And same for any other areas that you're serving, okay? So you definitely want to work on that. Right now you have pretty much no content on this page. A little bit of information about who you guys are, but nothing really with your services. Google is sending crawlers to your website, which are like little mini robots and scan your entire website. So you need to have the right content. We're looking here, this image says home, Doan Restoration, Texas, okay? So yes, that's your brand, but this isn't a keyword. So every single image on your website needs to be optimized with those local keywords. Water damage restoration, San Antonio, okay? And then the content needs to be built around those keywords as well. You need at least 1,500 words or more on this homepage. If your competitors have 1,500, you need more than that. Without that, without the right content, without the keyword strategy, when Google's sending those crawlers, they don't have enough information. They don't know what you're about, what services you're offering, or where you offer those services. And if Google doesn't know that, how can we expect them to actually send customers to your website? Okay, so you really, really, really need to dial in on that local keyword and content strategy. Okay, now your top ranking competitor in San Antonio for water damage is American Water Damage. They have a decent site, not great, very basic. Got a lot of pages that aren't actually in this navigation here, but they serve multiple areas and have multiple services. They have separate pages for. They also do a lot of long form blogs. But you can see here, they really don't have any information on their page either. Okay, so it really does boggle my mind how much traffic they're getting with so little information. But you do need it. You need at least 1,500 words. And so these guys are absolutely going to be beatable for you guys, but you just have to do better. More content, better quality content, dialing in that local strategy is going to be huge for you guys, okay? Now, we know when your customers do a search, they'll do a search something like this. And when they do, there's 3 main spots that your business has the opportunity to own positioning in, meaning being at the top, okay? The first is always going to be ads. Those are cost per click ads, local service ads, which can be extremely lucrative as if that's what you want to do, as long as you have your processes dialed in and the right landing pages built out. You're not sending them to your main website, okay? If you have those, it could be really great for you guys. But if not, it could be like a money pit. You need to get those dialed in before doing that, okay? Now, these next 2 sections here are even more important because they get the bulk of the traffic. So this section here is your Google Business Profile or the Google Map Pack. This section is important because 30% of people will skip everything and come right to the maps, and they'll call one of these top 3 companies or all 3. Okay, so when you're not one of these 3 companies, you're leaving money on the table and you're sending those jobs to your competitors. So in order to get here, you need to have a profile that is optimized, and you need to go out and get a bunch of citations. And citations are simply listing the name of the business, the address, phone number, and website, and listing those in a bunch of directories, like the Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau, Yelp, Glassdoor, Angie's, House, Home Advisor. Even your social media profiles are citations. So you need a lot of those citations. We need more than our competition. And those are going to help you tremendously when it comes to ranking here. And then this third section is the most important section. This is your organic section. This is where 60 to 70% of people come. They will skip the ads, they'll skip the maps, and they'll come right here. So in order for your website to show up here, it all comes back to the foundation of how this website is built. And without that, you're losing 60 to 70% of the jobs. So making sure that you optimize the site with the right content and keyword strategy, and then you need to support it with your backlink SEO. Okay, so this is Ahrefs, a paid tool we use to show how your website is performing. We can see here you have a rating of a 6 out of 100 in Google's Trust Flow, which means Google doesn't really trust your website. And that has a lot to do with the quality of the content, but also, and more importantly, the power you're sending to the website. Does not look like you have any SEO going on. You do need these backlinks. Like, your website is a tool, and like all tools that require power, and we do that with backlinks. So you need good quality, do follow backlinks, okay? Not all backlinks are created equal. We only want the good quality, do follow links that are closely related to the business that you have, the type of services you offer. So they can come from other home service businesses, websites, magazines, vendors, etc. Okay, we need good quality links. We need better quality and more of it than our competition, okay? And when you do that and get those good links, this increases your score here, which helps Google promote your website higher to rank higher. So you're capturing that traffic, okay? You do have 63 keywords that have been indexed, and you're getting 67 people to your website. So you're missing thousands of potential traffic, and over 60 to 70% of the potential jobs every month by not having these strategies. Now, if we look at your keywords, your brand is getting some of the traffic, okay? And you have a couple keywords here that are at the bottom of the first page. 10 spots per page on Google. And so the higher you are on Google, the more the percentage of the volume that you can get. Typically, the max you're going to get is about 35 to 40% of the traffic. Now, San Antonio, just the keyword alone, water damage restoration San Antonio, has 500 searches every single month that you could be capitalizing on if you're being indexed for those keywords and ranking. This near me, hopefully you're not actually targeting this keyword and Google just picked it up. When you are actually ranking for local keywords, Google will automatically pick you up for near me searches. So we never actually focus on those. Also, I noticed that a lot of these keywords are more informational keywords, not buyer intent. So when we're focused on restoration companies, that's more people learning about it than it is people who have a water damage emergency. So we want to focus on those local buyer intent keywords so that when they're landing on your site, they're actually people who want your help, not just trying to learn about the business, okay? So definitely need to work on your content and keyword strategy and support it with SEO. Now, when we look at your competition, they got a low score here with 600 backlinks. Most of those spam, so we don't need to be going after those spammy backlinks. We only need to go after those good quality links. But because they have a lot of blogs and a lot of extra pages, they have an index for more keywords, and they're getting over 1,400 people to their website. So, and when we look at those keywords, we can see they're ranking at the top for most of those keywords. And like I said, here's that water damage restoration San Antonio with 500 searches per month. Okay, so even 10% of that would be 50. So 30%, that'd be 150 people to your website just from that one keyword. Okay, it's a lot of potential that you're missing out on. So yes, these guys are absolutely beatable, but you do need to apply these strategies to do that. So please feel free to take this information, run with it, apply it yourself, and start today and start helping more people in your community. But if you'd rather focus on what you do best and have a partner to help you get there, give us a call at Peterson SEO, because this is our specialty, and we specialize in working with restoration companies just like you guys. So please feel free to reach out, ask questions, respond to our email, give us a call or a text, and we'd be happy to chat. And I'd also love to get your feedback, Wes, on what you thought of this video so I can continue to make them better. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.